Jehovah operates. And over the years, so many people has been ushered into Jehovah's operation or Jehovah's world in so many sense. So in every way, Jehovah is what? In charge of so many people's life. Whether they know it or not, whether they refuse or they do not refuse. And it's not easy. The spirit, the Christian spirit, the spirit behind Christianity is not like, as we say, merciful, forgiving, in the sense that it will not put you to frustration. It will not harm you. It will not disturb you. No, it will. It does not even deny in the book that it will disturb you. Even if you come to acknowledge and sort of realize that it is not what you expected or what you are told or what you're told it is. Because it's like everybody, every group, every tribe, every person has fallen into a line of which ancestors desire and desperation to sort of reach out for assistance, from a spiritual assistance or a physical assistance, has sort of developed something that you are bound to be a part of, that you are bound to. You can't just move out from it. There's rules around it. There's spiritual implications. There's epidemics or whatever that comes along, consequences. If you go to the other little sub-gods of which is referred by Christians and Muslims as pagans and all that, more as pagans. Meanwhile, they refer to each other as pagans as well. But let's take it that way, that the more smaller groups where they practice these horrible things of worshipping rivers, worshipping sun, worshipping whatever. And these worshippers were there before even all these things took place. They were even more, they were there. And it is the same worshippers that has transformed themselves, mostly have transformed themselves by blending into some sort of stories that they picked and saw that those stories were more refined and more better in presentation, and they were using that. So they transformed their own thing. The Romans were worshipping the sun. You can imagine. And there's so many worshiping that people did. Egyptians had so many worship. They have the worship of pleasure, worship of woman, worship of whatever, lustful worship. Cleopatra and whatever, the queens of whatever queenship. All those ladies had their own, the goddess of whatever, romance, the goddess of sex, all those things. It has all been changed, transformed into this new generational worship. But the names has to be changed. It has to be changed. So many things have to be changed. But the names that were used at that time, or the same remarks like Amen and all those things that have been used, have all got some roots to this kind of worship. Even Allah has got some roots that people who read all these books have been able to pull it out. Records have pulled that, that's what they used to call this kind of God. Yes, and now they make it Allah. Because that is how they were worshipping. The ancestors were worshipping God in the way they know it. If the new generation has moved on and advanced and now know God of a different way, they use the same name to call God. So somehow the faith through generational progressing into some sort of different sort of developed state of mind and developed state of life has transformed or has manifested, as in that process has made it all look like God is manifesting to a different state. But the humans, the people develop their mind and they have manifested. They are doing the manifestation, not necessarily God is manifesting. The idea of who God, the God they worship was, they have to now imagine him in an improved way for him to be different. So it is the same God. If you have a child and you feed a child, it's the same child you have fed that you are seeing with gray hair today. It's the same child that you have fed that is old today, that has got a different haircut or has got beard. The shape is different, but the same spirit has been fed and encouraged and glorified and lifted up high, and it is now a different image. And they have sort of decided, then we have to blend and give the true name to the spirit. And the only thing, the only means you can see that these things have been working on us is the fear, the threats that comes along. Because these spirits are not forgiving actually. They are punishment, and they're not really giving the life that we require or seek from them. But you see that you can get yourself into a terrible situation. Sometimes some people even use that or work on other people spiritual ways. I've experienced something, And people lose their life as a result of that. People use that to acquire riches. People use it to to do some harmful things, destroy other people's life, harm their life, cause people to become crazy and sick and all that. Not in the work of any other, but you confront the spirit, and they make requests, and they are so advanced in the worship or in the communication, or let's say in their relationship with the spirit or the spiritual God that they worship, and saying that they can make requests. They know how it works, and they use it on others. And the spirit is the spirit that is performing that thing. Just as Moses had to make some people become boil on their skin, cause paralytic, cause leper on some people, or cause, when all those signs were revealed, it kept Moses shaken and realized that this is a spirit that is capable of doing so many things. He can make my hands become leprosy, whilst I thought I was myself. That must be, this is the God, because he has control of my life. He can do something harmful to me. How does he get access to be able to make me a leprous person? So we have really developed the spirit. We have given room. Even if we haven't given room, the spirits have got abilities, as far as we can see. But the abilities have not demonstrated the good that we expect. The good is not outweighing the bad things. Rather, evil attacks us. We have terrible diseases as a result of our way of life, because the laws that are there are not solid enough to tell me that wherever my life is, whatever I do is necessarily not right or wrong. But whatever a man's do engage in, or animal or anybody engage in, we are naturally being whatever we have to be, and it shouldn't bring about harmful things into our life. Pleasures are there for us to be happy, to enjoy life in the fullest sense. And every step of a man's or a woman's way of a life, leading that life, is to show his sign of appreciation. It is not opening your mouth and say thank you. If you're going to say thank you every day, or glorify God in sings every day, and your actions does not speak loud, your actions does not meet your words, it's useless. It has no meaning. You understand? So whichever way it is, I believe that if truly we are demonstrating some act of any way, our way of life and character that we are into, the things that we feel being accused of through the generational descendant thing, I am realizing that they were not necessary. The human beings have got envious eyes and all among ourselves, and that caused leadership to behave the way they want to behave. The Romans at that time were putting pressures on people, and they were leading very lustful life. But other people will get caught and stoned and killed when they are into such a situation, just as today. You will see if the leader has got money to guide himself, protect himself, that nobody will ever know what he does. He can have all the fun he want to have, but the same fun that he's doing, he'll be appointed to be a judge or sit somewhere and condemn people into jails. This is why when there is a civil war, people take advantage of that. And wherever a leader who was at that time terrible, at that time if they have access to, they sort of pay back. The vendetta rises, and you see all sort of things happening. When you get opportunity to be somebody, do it right. Don't create something terrible for yourself. Be naturally right. Before you do anything, consider yourself in the same situation. What would have happened? What right do I have to do what I have to do? But yet still, you are firm in every way. But let understanding be between you and your accuser. Your accused. So let the accused know that, okay, let the accused agree that he accepts his punishments. He accepts that he agrees his wrongdoing, to whatever he might be doing, and you are the judge, you have to let that happen. Okay, you know what went on. The other party wasn't very happy. So he feels that. So, okay, this is if there was between two people and you are passing judgment on them, make sure that whoever is accused or is falling off, or each one party must be able to accept the responsibility that is due them, that is causing you to sort of make the decision. But don't put people into anything that they will hate you later on. If they agree with you, then you're okay. There won't be any vendetta towards you, because you have really ruled based on understanding. So this is just by the way anyway. As we keep on looking into the holiness of this thing, we have to analyze it. Is it God? I believe it's not necessarily God. As I said, it is Jehovah